You're a fake. You're a phony. You're not qualified for this. How could you even do any of this? We don't believe you. If you're facing any of these types of questions, if you think any of these types of things, if these thoughts run through your mind, you are probably dealing with imposter syndrome, right? This is something that we all have to deal with. And today we're going to talk about how you can overcome imposter syndrome. I'm your co host, HT,
I'm CD Barnes.
and this is the League of Hustlers, where we prepare to prosper. Imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome. What is this? A lot of people haven't heard of this, but we all experience it, especially as entrepreneurs. Okay. And today, like I
Right,
said, we're going to dive into this topic, right? So first and foremost, the symptoms of imposter syndrome is doubting your skills, right? You're trying to accomplish something new. You're trying to launch that product. You're trying to launch that new service, right? But you doubt that you have the skills to do it. Or you may feel unqualified. What gives you the right, to talk
right,
about whatever subject? Why do you think that you can create this new product? Why do you think that without any prior experience that you can pull this off? Right? These are the things that run through our minds, right? And it has us questioning our abilities, right? And in turn, we end up questioning our past successes. You've accomplished great things in life, probably, right? Um, and a lot of times it's basic things or things that we take for granted that other people are looking at like, wow, you did that. But we look at it like, oh, yeah, I did it. I had that success. Right. But it's a success. But what imposter syndrome does, it makes you question that success. Bro, I remember um starting a new business, right? And in my head, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really know anyone that was doing it. And so I had to go out and find those people, right? Um, to just build up that confidence. Have you ever ran across something like that? Those type of situations?
100%. Not only have I ever, but all the time. Essentially, almost anytime you're going to start something new or begin down a new path, it's very likely that you're going to encounter this form of self doubt
Right.
or fear. I think the important thing, though, is it's just acknowledge that it's okay, but keep going. Do it anyway. It's
Mm.
okay to be afraid. Do it anyway. It's okay
Do it
if you
afraid.
feel like, huh?
I said, do it afraid.
Right, do it afraid, exactly. It's okay if you feel like you're not qualified or you're questioning whether anyone else is going to find this valid or, if you are the right person for do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Um, and then really ask yourself the opposite question. Since you're going to ask, if you're going to question yourself, ask all of the questions. So
Mm.
if the question is, you know, am I qualified? Or what if I'm not qualified? Then what if I am the right person? Or what
Wow.
if I can reach one person? Or what if what I'm going to say or what I'm going to bring or the product, the service, whatever it is, whatever project it is, what if somebody is waiting on me and they're going to get it from me? So ask all of the questions. Ask them in the positive way also, and just keep going.
Right.
More than anything, just keep going and you'll see. And as you go further, it's like riding a bike or teaching a child to walk. If you've ever seen a child, learn how to walk, initially it's just a lot of falling, but the more they get, further along in the process of being capable of taking a single step, then the more confident they get, and that one step turns into two. And then from
Right.
two to three, and next thing you know, they're running all through the house and you can't get them to stop. And so it's kind of like that. It's a journey. And so appreciate the journey. You're not going to have everything. You're not going to have the polished resume of somebody who's been doing this, for an entire lifetime, and
Of
that's
course.
okay. But start where you are and just keep going.
Yep. 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 Next, so what we want, right? From overcoming imposter syndrome, what we want is we want that sense of belief. We want to be able to be recognized for our expertise. We want to be celebrated for our achievements. So think about that. Think about when you overcome that thing, right? In a simple, very simple illustration, like CD was saying, learning to walk, something that simple, or riding a bike, learning to ride a bike, right? You want that sense of accomplishment, right?
Right.
Bring it to adulthood. Maybe you're going for a certain position, right, or a certain job, even. You want, right, those things that will set you on that level. So imagine when you put the fears away, when you go ahead and do it while you're afraid and you accomplish it, imagine that sense of belief. Imagine that sense of relief. Imagine that sense of accomplishment, right? Imagine embracing the journey, right? Yes, there's gonna be mistakes made. Yes, there are gonna be failures, of course, right? You just never know. But what you do know, what you do have control over is giving it your best shot.
There you go.
Um, so to do that, here's some fears. Here's some fears that we need to overcome. You want to grab that, bro?
Sure, man. Fears to overcome. The lack of confidence, right? Um, Again, that confidence, it comes from going through the process,
Right,
right? And so you can't let the fear of not having that confidence rob you of the experience of gaining the confidence. It's they go together. So you can't let fear stop you from going through the process, because it's the process that's going to give you the confidence. So yeah, it's okay to be afraid in the beginning. Just keep going, right?
right.
The second one, right? Giving up on your dreams. Like, this is a resentment thing here,
Mm,
right? So if you stop, if you don't go 10, 20, it's too expensive to give up, because later on in life, 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, you're going to look back, and that feeling of not trying at all,
right,
not betting on yourself, not trying at all, feeling like you could have but you didn't. You don't want to experience that. I don't want to experience that, so I just do it anyway, right?
I'm reminded of. Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but when you just said that, remember Jim Rohn? He was talking about risk. And he was saying it's all risky. Like life is
Right.
risky. Having
Right.
kids is risky, taking on that new job is risky, and all of this. But it was like, what's even more risky is not trying it, right? Not saving for retirement, not taking the risk, right? And life is so risky that the one thing is guaranteed: no one makes it out alive. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly. Questioning your capabilities. Again, you got to go through the process. You got to go through the process. Shrinking under pressure. Again, you got to go through the process. The confidence that you're going to need to rise to the occasions under pressure, it comes from going through the process
Right,
over and over and over again, to the point where when the pressure comes, you're comfortable under pressure almost. If you've ever seen a great athlete perform, it's not that there's no pressure, the pressure is there, but they have practiced and repeated this, execution under pressure over and over and over again, to the point where, the pressure, it's there, but they know how to perform anyway under
right,
pressure.
right,
Game 6, down by 2 seconds left, give me the ball. I've done this, you know what I mean? To have that level of confidence, I can do this. Like, I've been
right.
practicing for this very exact moment
Oh yeah,
for the last 10 years, you know? So,
Real
It's the
talk.
process. Go through the process. And it's really just fear. When you can sum all this stuff up as fear,
Yep.
you know, it's fear.
Yep. Fear of the unknown. So, how do we overcome imposter syndrome? Here are action steps that we can take, all right, immediately, right? So, practice positive affirmations. Everything starts in the mind. If you don't even believe in yourself or believe that you can do it, um, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to give it your all. You're not going to give it 100%, right? So, having positive affirmations helps reaffirm yourself, right? And so the thing about affirmations is that you'll say it so much if you do it repeatedly and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, you will end up to start believing it, right? And it's you hear countless stories of this, right? No one ever said I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it and then do it, right?
Right.
What it comes from is people telling themselves that they can. If you tell yourself that you can't, you're going to give up. But the people who've accomplished great things keep telling themselves that they can do it, they can overcome, they can achieve, right? And everything starts in the mind. So once you internalize that belief in yourself, that will in turn make you take the actions, right, of a successful person, of a person that accomplishes the types of things that you want to accomplish. We actually have another episode on this talking about the self confidence formulas from Napoleon Hill's great work called Think and Grow Rich, right? There are 5 self confidence formulas. We will um, link it in above, all right? And maybe in the description, but just look for it somewhere. We have a whole episode on this, right? Where we go over each of them. Next point is to reframe your negative self talk with empowering statements. Again, we go back to that self talk. What are you telling yourself? See, we're always talking, right? Your mind is always communicating with things around you. You're talking to yourself, you're talking to your whole environment. Whether you're saying it audibly or internally, doesn't matter, right? But what does matter is if it's positive or it's negative, right? And a lot of times, if you really sit back and think about it and analyze what's going through your mind, if you're in a negative space, you'll realize that you've been harboring negative thoughts. All right. So, whenever we have to be consciously aware that we're having those negative thoughts. When we have those negative thoughts, you need to replace it with positive thoughts. Replace it
Right.
with positive self talk, right? Use empowering statements. Use those affirmations. Okay. Acknowledge your past accomplishments is the third point. Okay. You've accomplished great things in the past. I promise you have. Even if it's a small thing, you've done it, right? You've You've done something. Everyone has done something. I don't care who you are. As simple as whatever it may be, right? Landing a job, doing something. Just the point is to focus on those positive things that you have accomplished, however great or however small, right? That's going to internalize and help you have belief in yourself that you can do additional great things, right? Um, and then track your progress, track your success, the success that you've been having, track it, right? Whenever you have a small success, track it, celebrate it. Okay. And that's going to allow you to build, right, a foundation of success. So that's how we get rid of imposter syndrome. But there's one caveat. And I'll tell you this, as you go higher, you're going to keep running into imposter syndrome. So this is something that doesn't go away, right? I don't care who it is. You could be Michael Jordan, you can be the most successful business person, you can be whoever. Everyone deals with this, but it's who you are and how you have learned to deal with it, which in turn allows you to be able to work through it, right? So the people that perform at those high levels, they've learned how to work through their imposter syndrome. So yeah, if you talk to them, you'll always hear them talking positive. You'll always hear them talking victoriously, right? But I guarantee you internally, they're dealing with it themselves and they just don't want to express it externally because they know these rules, right? They know these rules. Anything with that?
Um, I guess just one last thought, man. There's this you know, African proverb. I can't recall exactly how it goes, but the point of it is though is that if the enemy inside of you, essentially, if you can win that battle,
Mm,
then no one on the exterior can stop you from accomplishing your goal.
I know exactly
Right.
what you're
And
talking
so
about.
there's no competition other than yourself. And so you're fighting this war and you need to win. If you're going to accomplish your goals, this is the battle that you're going to have to win. Just like Ace was just saying, it doesn't matter what level we go to. You pass, you were afraid to go to kindergarten when you got there. You was
Right.
a little nervous, a little shook up, and then you got used to that and you did that. And then you progress through elementary school and you may have been a little nervous because you was now the new kid on campus in middle school,
Yep.
and then you did that, and then now you're the new kid on campus. You're the freshman in high school, and
Yep.
so it doesn't matter, how high you go. At some points, you're going to experience this, and it's just the newness of something you haven't done before, and not being certain that or confident in your ability to do it, and it's fine. Again, you know, you just work through it anyway. Do it anyway, right? Because you are capable of learning. You are capable of achieving. You are capable. If you made it here, everything that you've been doing prior to led you to this point, was preparing you to do this thing. So just
Oh
do
yeah.
it. And it's going to prepare you for the next big thing. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just keep going. Believe in yourself. You do have the ability in you. It's built in. We can do all things. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
possible. So
Sure. Good stuff, bro. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have questions, hit us up at questions@leagueofhustlers.com. All right. Until next time, go ahead. If this episode was helpful, drop a quick comment. That helps us out a lot. Hit the like button, right? Subscribe if you're not, and we'll see you guys next time. Let's get it. Let's go. Follow for more.